After all these years, I never doubted that that night was real. And now Julian insists that it's all just a bad dream, and now he does. Why not back then?
Well, Father claims the psychiatrist told the family not to challenge your story.
What does that mean? What does any of this mean? I mean, it's all so... What do you think, Ethan?
If you think what happened that night was real, then it was. I believe you, Sheridan.
I just wish I did. I mean, now I don't know what to believe anymore. Or who.
If it wasn't a dream, then who was the body under the sheet? And that's the question here. And who could that person have been?
I don't know who the body was. All I know is that I saw one and I had blood on my hands. Or did I?
You've got to try going easy on this, Sheridan.
How, Ethan? I mean, tell me how, and I will. I'm just so confused. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what to do. That night was so many years ago, and I've had to practically live my whole life with this eating away at me.
No.
You know, I remember when I first went to that mental facility in Paris. One of the first psychiatrists who saw me kept saying over and over that that night didn't happen, that it was just a dream. But I knew I couldn't believe him. Because to me, it all seemed so real. But now I can't help but wonder.
Because of what Father said?
Maybe. You know, I thought that I had finally reached a point in my life where I could almost forget about that night. But then I came back home to Harmony, and all those memories came flooding back to me. Every time I step into that living room, I keep living that night over and over.
You know what I hope? For your sake, I hope Father is right. I hope this was only a bad dream.
I hope that too, more than anything. But I have to know what happened. I cannot get on with my life until I know the truth. I just wish that there was someone who could give me the answers that I'm looking for. Wait a minute. There is.
Who?
The person who can help me is sitting right over at that table.
You can't mean Luis. He hates our family. Not only that, he's a cop. Sheridan, you can't get the police involved in this. It would be a total disaster.
I'm not talking about Luis. I'm talking about Pilar. She worked for the family then. She knew what was going on. And she would never lie to me. Maybe if I ask her, she'll tell me the truth.
Well, how are you going to talk to Pilar if Luis is there? I mean, if he got the slightest hint of what we were talking about...
I know. That's why I thought maybe you could figure out something to distract him.
Because your father and I were deeply in love, and I trust in our wedding vows.
Pilar? Luis?
Ethan.
Lobster Shack's a great place, isn't it?
It was till now.
What did you order, Ethan?
Good old New England scrod.
Well, enjoy it.
I was hoping I could have a word with you in private, Luis.
I'm having dinner with my mother.
Well, I apologize for interrupting, but I promise it won't take long.
Well, I'm sure it can wait.
Luis, just go and talk, please. I'll be fine.
Okay, I'll only be a minute. You keep talking, Crane, but none of this is making any sense.
Well, I was simply leading up to discussing my new position on the police board.
Yeah, couldn't this wait till tomorrow during business hours?
I thought since both of us were here...
Here with other people out to dinner.
Luis, you and I are going to be seeing a lot of each other in the future.
Oh, no, there's something to look forward to.
I don't want your feelings about the Crane family to affect our working relationship.
Haven't we talked about this before?
Well, did we?
What's this really about?
I told you, it's about my...
Now I get it. So it's all a stall to get me away from the table. Typical Crane tactic. You have to go sneaking around.
It's not true.
You know what? Our discussion is over.
You still look upset. What did Pilar say?
All she knows is what I told her about what happened that night.
That's it?
Apparently, Alistair impressed upon her that it was nothing more than a nightmare.
And she believed him.
Well, she went downstairs and found nothing. No body, no traces of blood, nothing. And since she wasn't certain whose story was the truth, because there was no evidence, she promised that she'd never say anything. She never will.
Oh, thank God. I love Pilar, but her son's a cop who has it in for our family.
And he's already suspicious that I'm hiding something in my past.
We can't risk Luis or anyone on the police force getting wind of this. Body or no body, you'd immediately be accused. They'd drag your name through the mud.
All I want to know is the truth about what happened that night. I just wish Pilar had known something more.
Don't worry. I'll find the answer and I'll help you. Do you want to go? I'll get your coat.